Hi, Valerie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Hey, Eli.
Hi.
So the ball, I think, was in my court, and I dropped the ball, I'm afraid. It's been really busy trying to get some stuff sorted for the Juniper consortium that I'm now on. But I'm hoping that next week it should calm down and I'll get a bit more of a chance to read through it all. It might just be helpful to, because Flavio asked that question about he asked a question about who he'd made comments or something in the Dropbox, and did anyone know where they'd gone? Did anyone else see that message?
No.
I saw it, but it related to the bit that Eli's kind of in charge of.
Yeah, he sent me that he had made some comments, but I actually never found them. And I think so. It looks like the most recent version is the one that Jay commented on. And I haven't actually taught, so Flavio's comments aren't there. And there's a version that Nick and Dave Finoff commented on that I think Jay worked from, but I think Flavio had looked at that, but I don't see any of his comments there either. I can check one other spot. I'm just wondering if by chance Flavio and I have another project that we've been working on, and I'm just wondering if it got put there instead. No, it did not. So yeah, I don't know where Flavio's comments are. Okay. And I know that in the version that Jay made some edits to, I put some comments in the side that are I think that are waiting on you, Kira, to sort of know, like, do we bring this math? So Jay moved some of the math into a footnote. I think that should be moved back into the text, but I kind of wanted to get your read on things before moving much more around.
So is this the file called epi econ interaction EPF Nick? Is that the one where?
I think it's if you just sort them by date, the most recent one is the one called Sjogren edits on Eli COVID modeling 2021.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I see it.
And I think Jay did a pretty good job reorganizing things. Like, I agree with 85% of the reorganization. But it's more about like getting the right level of detail in the main text versus footnotes. And my sense is that Jay is focusing on slightly an even more general interest audience than the epidemics audience in some of the reorganization. I mean, he's not here right now, so we can't really ask him, but just my interactions with a lot of like math epi people over the last, year now? There's a lot of interest in how economists actually do economic epidemiology and build in these feedbacks. And so I kind of feel like burying that in a footnote is a missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. That's cool. I've got that one now, so I'll have a look at that. Hi, Sean.
Hi, sorry, it just came from teaching, and yeah.
No, we were just, so I said to them, because the ball was actually in my court this time to try and read through all the documents, but I've just not had a chance, unfortunately, but hopefully I will get some time next week to do it. And we were just going through what the latest versions of all the documents are to read.
Yes, I added an introduction today, actually, that I'd promised and was shamed into doing because of the meeting.
Yeah, yes, I did feel like I should try. I did try and do it this morning, but then I was doing homeschooling. So learning about number bonds, which I didn't even know what a number bond was.
Very important number bonds.
I
I've learned
know,
all
they are
sorts of
very
things
important.
doing the homeschooling.
But so what's
I
that, 2 and
know.
8 or something as a number bond?
Yeah,
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have to look for your number bonds. All these things that you just do, and the kids have names for them, and yes, it's an education.
It is,
But-
yeah.
Just going back to Eli's piece there, for what it's worth, I had a quick read of that and I thought it was much, much clearer, actually, funny enough. And I thought it flowed much, much better, was my sense. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, sorry, one question about that. So Sean, thank you for doing that. One thing that occurs to me is we don't, I think of, we don't really have anyone on the writing team from the sort of epi public health, epi modeling community. And so I wonder if we can suck someone else in. I mean, Kira, if you're comfortable being that person, I'm just not 100% sure on your background. But it does seem like if that's the target audience that is the audience for this journal, and it's all wonderful if it reads well to us, but that doesn't mean it'll read well. No offense, Sean, it doesn't mean it'll read well to the audience of the journal.
No, that is a good point. And actually, I did think about getting someone called Petra Klepak on board. She's worked at Public Health England and she's done things like vaccination models with like game theory and things like that. So she might be, and she was one of the authors on the challenges in behavioural modelling in the previous challenges version. But she's currently on maternity leave, so I was kind of waiting until it was in a stage where it would be easier for her to kind of read and make comments. But that's a really good point, and I had forgotten about contacting her, so I will contact Petra Klepak about reading.
Actually, Kira, if she can't do it, another person you could ask would be Roland Kale at Edinburgh in the vet school.
Yeah. Do you think, Nick, do you think Adam might be interested in, or is he, no? Okay.
Roland is like an Adam who does things on time.
Okay. No, I only ask because I think Roland's been roped into doing SPI-M stuff now. So I don't know whether that doing stuff on time has now slipped because he's busy doing SPI-M. But no, that's a good point. I should ask him about it.
Well, if you need a non-economist to read over it, he's someone who's used to working with. He's somewhat used to working with me, but he's certainly not an economist. But he kind of speaks a bit of our language, I think. I think that's how you would describe him.
Cool.
And I've got 6 unfinished papers with Adam, which is why I'm not wanting to add to his burdens.
Okay. Yeah, I believe Chris had a drawer of unfinished papers with Adam as well. Okay.
Yeah, I know some people as well. But they would be from the US. So I don't know if there's a desire to have this be more UK driven.
I don't think so. What do you think, Valerie? I mean, I don't think it has
No, I don't think so particularly, but I think that both Petra and Roland have been involved with the program before, so maybe they're a starting point.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Was there anything else anybody wanted to raise at this point? Sorry, I realise it might be quite a short meeting today, but
That's fine.
it's good to touch base.
Always
And
okay.
Okay, and we are going to we have an email to send out to all the writers of the challenges papers, just to give a bit more information, because we've spoken to the journal now and we've got a bit more information, about like deadlines and things like that. So that's going to be going out in the next few days, just to keep you guys up to date.
Yeah, well, if we stop early, I'll finish drafting that before the next meeting at 5.
Yes.
Otherwise, it'll be finished later today.
What is the next stage? I mean, I think Nick said he was going to do a run through, as it were, but should we wait on doing that, or
yeah, so the
other bit, or
well, so I think that it was said last time that I should read through it all and just make sure it's right, it kind of in the right format for what we're hoping with these challenges papers, and then Nick is going to kind of do the sort of pulling together.
Yeah.
And then I guess we can look at getting one of the EPI modelers then involved, looking at giving an overview and maybe adding anything that's been missed out from their perspective. Yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
I'm sorry, I missed the last meeting, so I'm a bit behind the curve, a long way behind the curve. But do you have all the sections now? Is there something written on each section?
There is. The only one that we haven't got back from is Camille, but I know he's super busy, so I'm not sure he's going to put anything in for it. But
well, I think, Kira, didn't we decide to just junk some of the sections?
Yes. Yeah. So we've got quite a lot at the moment. So I think the idea was to just read through what we've got, go with what we've got at the moment, and then maybe, like, I'm sure people at Petra will probably have some additional things to put in anyway.
Yeah, if she's got time, that would be good.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting for Dave's section, right?
Yes.
And I did speak with Dave about it about 2 weeks ago, and I got sort of yep, I'll get to it. Was doing something like else today, but
well, yeah, and wasn't the plan, because Eli, didn't you say that Dave is best if you say, write something here about this, this, and this?
I think so.
And so that was, I think, the idea that if I read through it all, and then any bits I think that are missing, I say.
But actually, Dave, we're talking about David Finoff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, he's written something. It's there in the. It popped up last night, and actually, so I now do refer to it as a separate section in my introduction.
Yeah. Pandemic prevention.
As my introduction is literally hot off the press, it takes it into account.
Cool. That's really
impressive.
Good. Cool. Okay, so I think that's everything to discuss, I think, today. Is it really? Is there anything else?
Good.
No? Okay.
Is it cold up with you, Nick?
I just got back from skiing. It was in our garden. It was -7 this morning, so I don't know what temperature it was last night. But in Braemar last night it was -22.
Yeah, I know, extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that cold here, but it was pretty cold. But it's that really beautiful kind of powdery snow that we don't often get in the UK. So you can just go cross-country skiing around the Braco Castle estate. So I did that again today.
Well,
actually, I did it twice, actually. Now I think of it. Yeah.
Can I just check, because you guys are on a sort of alternate week meetings, given that Kira hasn't had time to do what she was hoping to do you want a meeting next week to catch up, or are you happy with the 2 weeks again?
I think 2 weeks is okay for everyone else.
Well, I was just thinking, I mean, presumably nothing much is going to happen in the next 2 weeks, so you might want to effectively push today's meeting off a week and have it next week when you've got everything together. But it was only a thought, and it's only that the bulletin is going in tomorrow. So any changes in the dates next week, it would be good to know.
I think 2 weeks might be good, because it will also be after Juniper Consortium's first research meeting, so things will be a bit quieter and calmer then. And I don't know whether I should email you guys all the information. This new Juniper Consortium, which is a group of the SPI-M modelers, and they're doing their first research meeting. So I'll email you all the information if you want to sign up to come. It's just a series of talks on that first day, and they're introducing themselves.
Yes, you were going to send a circular around all the challenges. people, weren't you?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I've got an invitation to send out. Yeah, because they're kind of trying to be the alternative to Imperial and LSHTM. Is kind of they're kind of like a group of the smaller groups. So anyway, so you might see an invitation from me. So if you want to attend, then you're more than welcome. Yeah, no, I think 2 weeks, if that works for everyone else, I think 2 weeks.
I mean, there's no point in meeting again, Kira, until you've had time to
Exactly.
work your magic, and then I've gone over it, and maybe you've got your input from Roland and that other person you mentioned.
Yeah, so I think too, because that's because Valerie, if I do manage to get through it like by next week, then I can always just contact Petra and Roland and see if they can have a look over it, so we can still move forward before the next meeting.
It's whatever works best for you. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. Sorry, it's a bit short and sweet.
Okay.
See you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Okay.
All right,
Bye
take
then.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.